episode 9. Question for you today. In what cases or scenarios with your own clients and in general do you see prescribing longer duration, zone 1 or LSD work as would be proven to fit into someone's training program? So what scenario, what individual, what some scenarios you would do that with, and why?
Well, low intensity training, in my opinion, is very, very helpful for a lot of people. Let's say we have a male client competing in a sport of fitness in Europe, and he's training 5 days per week, and he's doing, let's say, doubles every day. So he's got a lot of time to train. And one of the most benefits in low intensity training is that it helps in recovery from intensive training sessions. It also helps
if the intensity is right.
It also helps in building an aerobic base and improving their let's say aerobic engine or system.
Specifically,
what
does that mean for people? Most people don't know what that means. What an aerobic base is.
Well, it means let's just say if you train more volume, and you have your aerobic base, your aerobic system is much better developed, it means that you can recover much faster between intensive training sessions, which allows you to train even more volume or even more intensive training sessions. And there's a lot more room for improvement, let's say. Low intensity training also, you can put a lot of stuff into there.
Okay, so let's clarify that. You're saying you can put a lot of stuff into that. That wasn't normally the case. And some people still don't do it like that. If they're going to do like low intensity stuff, it's like 35, 40 minute row at easy pace. Go ahead. And that's all they'd ever do. So clarify what the difference is and why you would do that. Saying, instead of saying I want you to row it for 40 minutes at 70% or below of your max heart rate, versus doing what you're suggesting. What's the benefit of doing it like that?
You can do a lot of types of low intensity aerobic training. You can do just cyclical movements like running or rowing or swimming or biking or ski or whatever is cyclical for that person. Then you can combine non-eccentric, low CNS demanding exercises paired with those cyclical movements. Let's just say you do single unders with jump rope, then you do rowing for 40 minutes, let's say. And if you get better in that low intensity stuff, then you can start combining more advanced skill for that person. And I think that the idea and the way I look at low intensity training is that a lot of people, especially my clients, they train intensively, some training, and in order to improve their engine and their ability to recover faster between those sessions, it's very, very beneficial to do low to moderate intensity stuff, so they can recover much faster between those sessions and just getting better in a lot of things.
The lower intensity stuff teaches your body, and you get used to utilizing fat as the main fuel source, right? That's one thing that's quite beneficial for it. And any larger percentage of fat as fuel you can have with regards to activity, it's going to be more and more maintainable and sustainable, right? Because fat, there's a lot of fat stores. And if you can get used to utilizing that type of fat store, that type of store, it's quite good. Which is what we mentioned with the intensity of training for this type of stuff. You want to keep it very low, right? So you're not really tapping into burning a lot of carbohydrate when you're doing this type of stuff. Okay, so what scenario do you think it does make sense?
I think the low intensity training, it makes sense for, in most of the cases, like maybe in training with beginners, they don't know what is very intensive training, moderate or low intensity training, so maybe it's not appropriate to prescribe really low intensity training for beginners because they don't know their engine, they don't know their pace, so maybe it would not fit that well with beginners. But other than that, intermediate to advanced folks.
What about someone like yourself?
Yeah.
If you trained 4 or 5 times, 4 times a week?
Yeah, it's very beneficial for me.
What about if you only trained 4 sessions a week?
That's a different scenario.
So I asked for it.
Yeah, if I had just 4 training sessions per week, I would rather do more intensive training stuff and use low intensity training just as my biking over here from where I'm staying at.
Yeah, I think training volume or schedule is a big part in that. To me, it's like it's a list of priorities, and almost for everyone, for me, that's a lower priority than something else. So if someone's like, I can only train 3 times per week, which I have, some younger guys, 28, 29 years old, they're like, I can only train 3 times a week over the summer, I got this and this going on. I'm not giving them 30 minutes of row easy. It's not happening. Because you can make better use of your time, and you can better maintain their current state with intensity, as opposed to just with volume. And then when they get back into it, we can add in some easier stuff, and it's very good. It's a very, very good thing, like for all the things you just mentioned, for the lower intensity pieces. I just think that one, like you mentioned, it should be done in a mixed modal environment and not just one modality, for the most part.
If the goal is mixed modal training.
It's not even that the goal is mixed modal training, it's just most people get bored. They don't like it. Sit on a rower for 40 minutes, they're like, no thanks. And then they don't want to do it. It's like, okay, we can find something different for you. Right? But either way, it has its benefits, definitely. Very useful. And it was just good. I want to see what you thought and the type of person that needs to do it, and the scenarios that you think it makes sense. Good.
Perfect.